The first question in your quiz is to graph an exponential equation. I want you to fill in your XY table, so make sure you include the asymptote on your equation of your graph. So the first thing you want to do is you want to identify your parent function. What is the parent exponential equation that you want to use? And that would be y equals 4 to the x. So you strip off all the extra little detail, the 1/2 and the +1, and we just look at it, and that's what I'm going to use to fill in this first chart. So we're going to put into our chart a -1, a 0, and a 1. Those are our standard numbers we're going to apply. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 4 to the first power, which is 4, 4 to the 0 power is 1, and 4 to the -1 power is 1/4. So that's just taking into account what our parent function would do to our graph, and those will be our ordered pairs. Now we're going to make the transformations with those, and the transformations that we have to perform are this half, which is outside the grouping symbol, so that means it's going to affect the y's, and this 1, which is really inside a grouping symbol. Since it's up in the exponent, there's a grouping symbol that's implied there. So these are going to affect the x's, that half is going to affect the y. So now I want to take all of these x values, and I want to modify them according to what the x plus 1 does. And adding 1 really slides your graph 1 unit to the left. So you want to take all of these x values and subtract 1. So if I subtract 1 from a -1, it becomes a -2. Subtract 1 from a 0, it becomes a -1. Subtract 1 from a 1, it becomes 0. So now my x's are taken care of. And now I want to take all the y values, and I want to multiply all the y values times a half. So half of a fourth is an eighth, half of 1 is a half, and half of 4 is a 2. Now these are the order pairs that we want to graph on our graph. So I'm going to graph the order pair 0, 2, the order pair -1, half, and the order pair -2 and 1/8, which gets awfully close here. And then we should know that on an exponential graph, we should have a horizontal asymptote that goes along the x-axis if we don't move it up and down at all. And there was no vertical movement on this. There was a vertical stretch, but no vertical shift up or down. So I place that on my x-axis. That asymptote is a line we get close to but don't touch. Then it goes up forever. So that's our graph for question 1A.